Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. My name is Justin Ryder. I'm a commercial real estate broker and content creator based out of Lexington, Kentucky. In today's video, I'll be discussing the top 6 commercial real estate posts I have read and experienced so far in 2024. So let me share one of my goals for this YouTube channel. I want it to be a place that sparks hundreds of ideas for your own content and platform growth. What better way to do that than to observe some truly killer content? First, what made those posts great, and second, how we can replicate them in our own social media strategy. Let's get right into it. All right, so first up is Multifamily Encyclopedia J. Parsons, 7 observations from NMHC's annual meeting. This is about 2 weeks old at this point, and I love that Jay immediately starts with optimism is back. He goes on to summarize demand in apartments for 2024 and 25, specific strategies that owners are using, i.e. the heads on bed strategy, construction starts and expense growth. Man, has insurance been a huge topic as of late. He talks about value and cap rate expectations, and finally, a strategy for buying in the future. This is a really great post. What makes it great? It acknowledges the emotions that the multifamily community has been feeling for the last year and a half or so. The world needs optimism. Jay's experiencing it, and he brings it in. Second, it is forward-looking. You could actually use the data and talking points crafted in this post and apply them to your own brokerage strategy or investment strategy. Lastly, he's saying, let's go get it. Although there hasn't been this crazy amount of distress like people were predicting, he is saying that if lease-ups slow down in 2024, which is something you can look for, acquisitions or deal opportunities could pick up. Everybody reading this post wants to get a deal. That's a great way to end it. Now, this post can easily be replicated. How could you do it? Recap your last industry event by picking out relevant information and combining it with your previous experience. Second piece of killer content is Taylor Avakian's Ode to Blocking and Tackling. Taylor, I hope I said your last name right, by the way. Essentially, he's uncomplicating what we as brokers can so often complicate, which is the simple blocking and tackling of the business. Now, this post strikes a chord, if not the chord, of LinkedIn. Basically, he's saying, I realize that you can't skip blocking and tackling in order to achieve success. Folks, this is like 60 to 80% of all LinkedIn content. This is the place to go. I love that there's an element of honesty in this post. Basically, he's saying, I wanted to stand out and be different, and I thought to do so, I had to be different outside of the blocking and tackling of the business. But the journey he's on is to realize that that is actually the way, the old school way and the new school way to get ahead, which is to do the basics, enjoy them, and get better at them, and create a snowball of momentum from them. This post is about the journey, and LinkedIn loves the journey. What did you learn and how did you transform when you learned it? In my opinion, it's never bad to hit 3 or 4 generations, especially on a business platform, in one post, so kudos to Taylor. This post can absolutely be replicated. Which blocking and tackling activities do you really enjoy? Which ones do you struggle with? Write it, post it, ask for feedback. Third piece of content is Sawyer Quade's Chopping Wood post on LinkedIn. So he does a deep dive of 7 a.m. through 5 p.m. of a typical work day. And you can sort of check out his schedule here, from when he reviews comps to when he follows up with people to when he makes calls and how many calls. So what makes this post great? It has a behind the scenes of a high-powered broker feel to it, right? I like the vlog element, and I think people listen and respond to that. The second thing is the schedule itself. I mean, this is a meticulously planned day with specific activities and time slots. And although it's very specific and concrete, there's actually flexibility that allows for the variety of assignments that we get as brokers. When I read through this schedule, my thought immediately is, I need this in my own life. It's really good. And lastly, if you're starting from ground zero on scheduling your life as a real estate entrepreneur, why not start with the most basic split that Sawyer obviously shares? Revenue producing activities versus non-revenue producing activities. It's genius. So I believe this post can easily be replicated, because you could just simply share your ideal schedule or track it for a week and honestly share where you spent your time and ask for feedback. So write it, post it. Great idea, Sawyer. Okay, for killer content post number 4, we're traveling over to X to look at Chad Griffith's nod to Google Earth Studio. I had no idea that this free tool existed until Chad put me onto it, but he basically says it still amazes me that Google Earth Studio is free. He then goes on to share a how-to, and then check out this video of what he designed quickly and efficiently in Google Earth Studio. I love these types of posts. What makes it great? Here's a free tool that you aren't using, i.e. here's a free way to make money. Obviously, there was quite a bit of response to that as people love free tools. So I love that not only did he share the tool, but he also shared steps 1 through 7, which is a very quick how-to or a simple set of steps in showing people how to use it. Of course, you can easily replicate this post, and the commercial real estate community loves it. What's a simple, free, or paid tech tool that you're using, and what benefits are you getting from it? Write it, post it. Number 5 piece of killer content is Strip Mall Guy's letter to brokers to encourage them to fire up social media and use it as a weapon. He basically says there's an important message I want to convey. You should use social media to grow your business as an incredible weapon. So what makes this post work, or what makes it great? Most think of social media as a tool for leisure and entertainment. Strip Mall Guy is encouraging you to flip that view, that you can use it actually for your own business growth, i.e. don't sleep on X's potential for enhancing your presence. This is something I've been thinking about now basically every day for 3 years. There is such a benefit to having distribution. Sure, you can call 20 people a day, but can you post and immediately reach 200, 200,000, 2 million? He can. He's experienced the benefits of having an audience and distribution, and also the financial impact. It's just a killer post. Like, I love it. I think you can replicate this pretty easily by simply posting a story of how you've been successful on social media. So maybe you got a client because of a post or a DM. If you have, go ahead and share that with the world. All right, lastly, we've got my favorite post of 2024 so far, which is Omar Morales' simple reminder to read documents. Check this out. It said, just spent the last 2 hours reading through red lines on a PSA. Most brokers don't do this. Most brokers think the buyer and the seller and their attorneys will just get the deal across the finish line. Most brokers wait until something comes up to then try and figure out a solution. Wrong. Read, read, read. Find out what specifics in a contract the buyer or seller feel were important enough to include or remove. It's free education. I absolutely love this post. And I think what makes it great is that closers don't assume anything. For example, closers don't assume that attorneys are going to actually close your deal. You've got to read, be educated on the red lines themselves, follow up, and take responsibility for the closing. Don't assume. Secondly, I love that he takes something that you might feel like you have to do and transforms it into something that you feel like, I would not want to miss this. i.e. I can't miss a glimpse into how my buyers and sellers are interacting over this deal. Literally, by reading the red lines, you're going to give yourself a master's degree in commercial real estate. You're going to become a better buyer and a better seller by remembering what is important to them. So read the documents and read the red lines. I just love this message. All right, my friends, so there you have it. Thank you for joining me today. Those are 6 pieces of killer content. What are you seeing out there? Throw it below in the comments. I might come back to this idea every quarter, or maybe even every month, to really discuss what's going on out there, who's being creative, and how you can use those ideas as templates to build your own brand. Like you, I'm certainly a student of and participant in the commercial real estate content game. So I hope this video inspires you to do the same. We'll catch you in the next one.